Oh, hey, I'm literally just recording this third one just in a row just because it was on my mind. I was thinking about the fact that why, like, we have this family, we have these really close friends in our lives. Why do we sometimes overlook or whatever the time that we spend around them? Now, this is one thing that I myself need to be whatever about because there's a lot of times where you're hanging out with people, and there's a difference between being present and kind of, I don't know what to, how to be on, like, what's a word, being I said like I knew the word, but I don't. But like, it's like when you're driving and you're not when you're on autopilot. There you go. It took me however long to do that. But there's a big difference between, like, you can physically be present, but mentally you're not. And that's one of the big things I'm kind of just saying here is, like, when you're around, like whether it's grandparents, with parents, friends, all stuff. I think making an effort to be present is incredibly important. And one of those things that I've had to learn and had to be whatever, because when it comes to, like, losing someone, it's very easy to have regrets and have, like, think back to moments you're like, oh, I wish I could have done that and all that stuff. And so you'd think with me, my dad, you'd think I'd have all these regrets. I would guess. I don't know, but in reality, it's like I have more regrets for other things. I actually don't have regrets. I feel a lot and I've done a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have done, but it's got me here. But I can see there's certain things I can see where I shouldn't have said that because it undercuts the rest of this. But what I'm saying is that it's because of the fact of being present. Now, have I been present as much as I should have been in another situation with friends or family? No. But when it came to my dad, I was present, and so that's why I don't have regrets. So that's what I'm trying to echo to you guys, because I know people die. Like, parents are gonna die, grandparents are gonna die, uncles, aunts, all those people are gonna die, and I don't. And going and seeing them, watching them, and they're gone. It's very easy to be like to think back to those moments and be like, dang, I should have been there. I should have done this. I should have, would have, should have, could have. It never solved anything. It's kind of on. All it really takes is putting that phone down, kind of chilling, and actually, like, talking to someone, like actually listening. And if you just do those things when you're around the people you love, when you're around the people closest to you, and you kind of just make that a consistent habit, then it allows you to kind of not have these regrets, not have these things in terms of what you, like, the time that you spend around people. Because I just know, I don't even have to know to know that it's a thing that people have all these regrets of things they wish they could have said or things they wish they could. So that's why it's like the whole idea of giving people flowers while they're still alive is important. Is you just want to make sure that people know you kind of care for them, or whatever, stuff like that, while you're still alive. Because you never know. You never know what their last moments are. And that's why I'm saying, like, grandparents and stuff first. Because you die, or at least you guess. But it really doesn't take much. And there's a lot of times for me where we'll all just be playing a game or doing whatever while hanging out with family, and you're like, I should just set this down. I should just whatever. And I remember one of these times I was hanging out with my dad, and I was playing a game, watching some show, and he's like, oh, no, you can do that. But I was like, no. And I was young and didn't have any backbone or anything, but I still felt like, I should, yeah. I should be present. And there's a lot of times where I haven't done that. A lot of times where I've just literally flat let my emotions dictate it, or, like, drown myself in something when I'm in a thing, and the moment is gone. And you don't know how many moments you got. I say see the thing a lot, but even, like, people could live long lives and be in your life, and you could really not see them that much. And I've seen a lot with my, like, parents and stuff like that, in that my parents work really hard. They do a lot of stuff, and their hours are very different in terms of, like, they wake up a lot earlier, go to bed a lot earlier. Like, sometimes they go to bed around, like, 8, which is kind of crazy, and wake up at, like, 3 or 4, like, crazy. But so it's like the moments. So, like, theoretically, I could be around them for hours, but okay, if they're on the phone talking, if they're doing emails, if they're doing this and that, they're not really, they're kind of preoccupied in their own world, so you're not really hanging out with them. And then you got those, like, 30 minutes or, like, an hour where you're actually hanging out. And those kind of things where I feel like it's like, I've had this, like, little gut thing, and I'm like, you should probably talk to them, or probably hang out, or at least a show, whatever, stuff like that, because you just don't know how important it is to just be present, be there with someone or talking to someone, because you just never know what's going on in their life. You can know someone your entire life. They could be your parent, they could be a sibling, they could be family or whatever, and you just don't know what's going on in their life, and you don't know how much it could help just by talking to them, or just by saying little things, just by doing a little action, doing a little, just whatever. It little goes a long way. And it's like one of those things where I'm not an old person. I'm not someone who's had this experience much of my life, but you just kind of know. As long as you kind of know, you're like, I should hang out with them. I should do this. I should do this, because you just don't know. You just really don't know what's gonna happen with life, and you don't know how many times you're gonna be in a certain situation. Like you could say, like my parents could theoretically live for another like 30, 40 years, the ones that haven't died, and it sounds like a lot of time. They're like, oh, I got all this time, but then you think they're working, they're focused on their own world. Eventually, I'll likely be in a relationship, wife or kids, all that stuff. The time that I got around them suddenly off a cliff. Then it's suddenly like, oh, what if like girlfriend wife wants to move? Oh, suddenly drops another cliff. Like it's like, and then you're like only seeing them like a few times a year, and then it's like, and then so you're like, oh shoot, and then you're like, oh, I don't know if I can make it that time. Oh, such and such is going on a tournament or whatever. I don't know if I can make that. Sorry, it's that what is it? The Cats in the Cradle song. It's literally that song. That's what, at least in that song, that's what I'm kind of talking about. So when you have these moments around these people, just make sure to like be there and be present, be understanding, because you just don't. And when I say this kind of stuff, I don't just mean to just sit and like actively like just be saying stuff, being like, hey, oh, how's your day going? Or like, and what I think is a big thing is because you could say like the theoretical, or like the generic, like, oh, how was your day, or oh, that stuff is important. Don't get me wrong, but like when you know someone likes something, kind of like a sprinkle little thing, like kind of like it's like the Kobe and Shaq, like the alley oop. Be like, okay, if you know someone likes makeup, or like you're like a sister or something like that, or like whatever, and you're like, oh, did you buy any new makeup, or did effing whatever have a new drop, or oh, makeup's looking nice, and you do a little thing that's like whatever, and like girls and guys or whatever, you like talk about, oh fuck, how did your curse, how did your did such and such player do well, or something like that, or whatever. Just showing that extra, just doing that extra little thing, and it's like going the extra mile. It sounds so like whatever, like it literally just involves just saying something. You're like, just haven't taken that one extra second to think of like, you know, why don't I say something that actually has substance to it? Like instead of just saying the same stuff without actually any meaning. Like it's like if you're like it's like, okay, you know, such and such likes a new artist and they dropped new album. Like, oh, how did you like the album? What was your favorite song from it? Like, if you just saying this kind of stuff and kind of just doing it repeatedly over time with the people closest to you will help you not have those regrets in the end. It'll help you feel better, and it'll help them as well, because they're like, oh, someone actually like genuinely like cares. It just takes listening. It just takes listening and being present, and you kind of just allow to have those dynamics and those conversations and those relationships that you never know how long they're gonna go. You never know how like what situation they're gonna be in, because you got to think like, okay, let's say you're talking siblings. Let's say, okay, or if you guys are around the same age and you guys all starting getting relationships, or start having like spouses, start having kids, then you got to think, how much time are you realistically going to be hanging out with them, and how much time are you realistically going to be hanging out with them, just you guys. Suddenly, when you have all these people involved, now, okay, maybe you're hanging out, but you're hanging out with families also. So how are you? Oh, the kids are like going on whatever. So how am I going to actually have this time to talk about these things? It's really usually a lot less than you think. So you want to take those moments that you got for them to understand that you care for them, you love them, or whatever. Whether that's anyone in your life that you care about, just show them that. Just be present. Just have those moments, because those moments really are important. And trust coming from me, like I remember certain moments. Like I just remember that moment of me like where my dad was saying the thing, and I sound fun on. That was like 8 years ago. That was like 8-9 years ago. And I remember like yesterday. I know exactly where it's like sitting on the couch in this old house that we don't even have anymore. Like I remember little moments like being in the movie theater, like just by going the extra. Like my dad went the extra mile with me. Like I'm sure he liked movies, or I don't know if he loved them, but he would like go and we would go see every movie, and he'd be like, oh. He's like, oh, well, when's that next movie coming out, or whatever, or saying that, and then we would go and see it on like a Friday or Saturday, and it's like it meant so much for him doing something that wasn't really that, like it's just going to a movie, but it's like just doing that, and it literally something I'll cherish for my life, and it doesn't really take that much. It just takes by really thinking and caring about someone, and just doing the thing, and like I don't know, I feel like it's one of those things that's just like, I'm sure a lot of you guys do it already and stuff like that, but just keep in mind, it's really important, because you never know. You just never know. But and if anyone hasn't said they love you. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're having a great day. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for having a little chat.